Today we will discuss about Plato in two parts. So first part we will discuss his life history, and second his educational thought. Plato was born in Athens in 427 BC in a wealthy and influential family. He began his philosophical career as a student of Socrates. When the master died, Plato traveled to Egypt and Italy and studied with the students of Pythagoras and spent several years advising the ruling family of Syracuse. Eventually, he returned to Athens and established his own school of philosophy at the Academy. About 387 BC, Plato founded a school in Athens in a grove sacred to the demigod Academus, called Academy. So, Academy is named after the god Academus, and this name was given by Plato, which is where we get the word academics from today. Plato maintains a virtue-based eudaimonistic conception of ethics. What is eudaimonistic conception? That is to say, happiness or well-being is eudaimonia is the highest aim of moral thought and conduct, and the virtues, which are excellence, are the requisite skills and dispositions needed to attain it. Hedonic happiness is achieved through experiences of pleasure and enjoyment, while eudaimonic happiness is achieved through experiences of meaning and purpose. Both kinds of happiness are achieved and contribute to overall well-being in different ways. Republic is a dialogue which discusses the education necessary to produce such a society. It is an education of a strange sort. He called it paideia. Nearly impossible to translate into modern idiom, paideia refers to the process whereby physical, mental, and spiritual development of the individual is of paramount importance. It is the education of the tutor individual. He discusses early education mainly in the Republic, which was written about 385 BC. And in the Laws, his last work, on which he was still at work at the end of his life. Plato regards education as a means to achieve justice, both individual justice and social justice. According to Plato, individual justice can be obtained when each individual develops his or her ability to the fullest. In this sense, justice means excellence. For the Greek and Plato, excellence is virtue. According to Socrates, virtue is knowledge. This knowledge is required to be just. From this, Plato concludes that virtues can be obtained through three stages of development, which is knowledge. Knowledge of one's own job, self-knowledge, and knowledge of the idea of the good. According to Plato, social justice can be achieved when all social classes in a society, workers, warriors, and rulers are in a harmonious relationship. Plato believes that all people can easily exist in harmony when society gives them equal educational opportunity from an early age to compete fairly with each other. Without equal educational opportunity, an unjust society appears, since the political system is run by unqualified people. Democracy, oligarchy, defective democracy, or tyranny will result. The Greek philosopher Plato, a student of Socrates, and the latter on the teacher of Aristotle, he, along with Socrates and Aristotle, would later be cited as one of the many philosophers who set the foundation for Western thinking, including religion, philosophy, politics, and more. Plato valued education and the way it changes people. He was known for thinking about an ideal government and society and believed that to maintain a stable state it was necessary that all citizens were educated. Plato was known for having ideas about a perfect state, and he believed that education was one of the keys to eradicating evil and achieving this, because if people were educated and sound, then the need for establishing laws were unnecessary, but if they were uneducated, then the laws were useless. Plato states that there are four stages of knowledge development, that is, imagining, belief, thinking, and perfect intelligence. Imagining is at the lowest level of this developmental ladder. To achieve justice, modern society needs the Platonic theory of education. Plato's philosophy of education will provide a comprehensive vision to solve those problems in the education. There is also some controversy about relationship between education and economics. It is popular view common in East and West that businesses should indirectly control or even take over education to economically compete with other nations. However, Plato disagrees with this notion, since business is concerned mainly with profit, whereas a true education is concerned with common good based upon the rational principle of individual and social justice. Plato education was more than just memorizing facts while sitting in a classroom youth to maturity. Instead, education was a lifelong process, and even adults could be trained and educated, thus, created a system in which even adults were trained. Plato's The Republic, he wrote that education was not limited to youth and that one could continue to learn even after they reached maturity. It was not just the mind that was affected by learning, but also the soul in different stages of growth. Thus, in different stages of life, people observed certain ways of learning. It starts in infancy and childhood, where the character is trained through emotions. By adolescence, people can begin to understand logical reasoning as well as science and philosophy. Younger adults can start to understand more advanced physical and intellectual concepts and search for their own versions of their knowledge.